Wow, guys, I can't believe we're on episode 5 of the TalonCast already. This is crazy. Like, it doesn't even seem like it's been a month and a week since I've started, this podcast. But yeah, let me know how you guys are feeling about the podcast so far. Obviously, it's been 5 episodes so far, and we've talked about a lot, and we try our best, to stay on the straight and narrow when we talk about asset creation and everything going on within the community in the game. But like I always say, make sure you guys comment down below any type of questions that you guys think I should try to address or answer or talk about in the next podcast, as well as comment down below some content creators that you guys think I should have on as a special guest on one of these TalonCast podcasts. Or dang, it sounds weird saying TalonCast podcast, but on the TalonCast. But yeah. And also don't forget to check out the main channel if you guys do like gameplay content for asset creation. Make sure you guys go check that out because we do that content as well. So yeah, go check it out. All the links are down below, social medias, and I do stream Saturday and Sunday at 6 p.m. We actually have a time now at 6 p.m. on Twitch, so go check out the streams on Twitch where we play the game Asset Creation. But yeah, let's get into this. This is gonna be a good episode considering the fact that a lot happened and didn't happen in this episode. To say a lot, to say the least. Like, I have a few hot takes that I want to go over, but this week was very how should I put it, very boring in my opinion. There wasn't a lot going on in this week. Honestly, it was weird because we were supposed to get the 0.10 update like right at the beginning, but we got it like the day after, and I feel like at least this is, obviously I'm not sure if this is true, but it felt like that patch wasn't as big as they expected. I feel like some of the stuff they probably wanted to show us or put in for the economic update probably should have been put into that patch, but there was some hiccups, let's just say, on the back end, on like the PTR and stuff like that. There were some hiccups, but yeah, it just felt a little lackluster. And going on from that, they extended the testing for the whole week until the 26th, if I'm not mistaken. And Steven came onto the Discord and was talking about how they're supposed to be putting out the Econ patch basically at the end of this week. But I always take that with a grain of salt because I'm gonna say it for everyone else. Development is a moving train, so I would give Intrepid Studios a 2-week grace period on any like 1 week time frame. Just give them some grace because we don't know exactly how big it's supposed to be. We don't know exactly what's going on in it. We know a few things, how they want to change up how like recipes are, like the usage of recipes. I'm assuming they're probably going to add some. This is my assumption, by the way. I'm assuming that he touched on basically recipes and was talking about how they're going to change how the econ works around recipes, around rarity, around materials, and around crafting and all that jazz. But he didn't go too far into it because I'm assuming he didn't want to destroy the economy before it started, because some people knew that like specific recipes may have like a durability or certain things like that. People might start snatching them up and it may change the whole course of how everything starts. So I know he didn't want to say anything like that, but yeah, there's about to be a lot of different changes within that. And then he also dipped into people asking about, is the mage going to get rebalanced or anything to that nature. Steven was very active in the Discord this week, and I'll give him that because a lot of people are asking questions about what's happening to the rebalance of classes, because as you guys probably see in this video, at the bottom, they finally segmented off all of the, like, there's 4 quadrants for a level now, which, if you guys don't know, these 4 quadrants are supposed to each give a skill point, but at this point in time they don't, and it wouldn't really make sense if they did right now because we'd have way too many skill points. But I'm assuming, this is an assumption, they're ramping up to at some point add more skills and more variety to each class. I would hope. I hope they're not just scaling it up and making some skills require more skill points, because that would be annoying and boring. But I would feel like that's a waste of development time in my opinion. But like I said, I'm not a developer. I don't know exactly everything. It's like every time I think I know which way this game is going, they prove me wrong and it goes somewhere totally different. So that's just the way it is. But yeah, I would assume they're adding more skills to the class or to the archetypes at some point. But he wanted to make sure that people understood that they're not going to be doing probably any more big like changes to archetypes until the summoner comes out, because they want to make sure all of the archetypes are out before they start, adjusting all the archetypes, because they want to be able to adjust them, I'm assuming, to everyone's needs, um, respectively, for which would like to make sure that they all work like in conjunction with each other well, and then they'll start adding classes and shit like that. So that was some brief news. If you guys don't follow the Discord, the Astro Creation Discord, because I know a lot of you guys don't really care for that. You guys just want the news. But that was, in a nutshell, what was going on. Steven kind of letting us know. Econ patch coming soon, etc. But going on from that, let's talk about some stuff. I have a few things to talk about. I already feel, and like I said, this might be fake news, head ass. But I feel, me personally, I feel like the server is kind of already dropping off a cliff, in the sense of like people playing it. Obviously, a lot of you guys are probably gonna be like, Falco, what are you talking about? I could LFG all day long. There's tons of people looking for groups. I get it, I get that, but I feel like people are not playing there's definitely not as many people playing the game holistically. Like, obviously people are dropping off, but for some reason, in my opinion, I feel like the servers are still playing pretty poorly. Like, for instance, not all servers, because obviously there's multiple server workers, but the server worker that performs the worst, in my opinion, is probably this server worker that we're in right now in this clip, which is the Tower of Carfin. I mean, Sunday I was there trying to do like a gear farm for raids. Like, we had like a raid of like 4 parties in one like raid group, and we were just there trying to kill mobs and get drops. But it was so bad that like the mobs were like not moving, and they were like hitting people, but you couldn't tell what was hitting anyone. And the mobs were, it felt very it felt very Alpha 2 phase 1. It was like we took a step back. It felt like in that server worker in particular. Like, Carfin has always been a weird server worker when you pass certain boundaries and stuff like that. Like, you would get like very weird stutters, or very weird like frame drops at certain points. Carfin's always been kind of shaky, but this has probably felt the worst, in my opinion, of how Carfin's felt. But some people may say, well, there's a lot more people in this Carfin because there's 4 servers worth of people. I understand that, but I don't know. I'm just saying, as of the way that the game is played right currently, the server worker of Carfin just felt really bad. It felt better at Stillbloom, which is funny because I went to Stillbloom and did a farm also for 5 hours, and no one left because the server worker was bad. I literally had people at this Carfin gear farm being like, sorry dudes, this server worker just is so shit. Like, the mobs, you can't even see them. They're like, most of the mobs are just standing still somewhere. You don't know if it's actually gonna attack you or not. It was bad. It was bad. And I had numerous people just be like, I can't do this, I'm out. And I feel like there's a lot of people who bought into the alpha, who weren't probably ready for this and thought the alpha might have been in a better state. Obviously, that's their fault. They may have just dropped off, and that's just the way it is. I know a few of my friends who played the game, dropped off. I know a lot of people actually that they're like, all right, I'm gonna just wait until phase 3, because right now the game is in a very volatile state. Like, phase 2.5 seems more volatile, in my opinion, in the sense of like updates to the game, than phase 2, like the start of phase 2, which was like January to like what's called May or something like that. Yeah, this one feels a lot more like dynamic in the sense of updates. Like I talked about, I think in the previous episode, how they changed the amount that you need to process, like how much wood you need to process stuff. They changed that in a day. They changed a lot of stuff, which I'm happy they're doing, because I mean, this is the time to do so. But I'm not gonna say it's gonna help retention of people testing your game when people feel like their stuff is being changed so frequently. The people who really want to test your game are gonna stay, but like the people who bought in because thought they were gonna have a decent experience may not. Because I mean, I would say the artisanship and gear progression and all that has probably been the worst it's been since the start of alpha. It's actually gotten worse, in my opinion. And that's just an opinion. Like I said, some people may feel differently, but that's my opinion. Let me know what you guys feel about that. I feel that the gear progression, level progression, has gotten worse. I would say that certain things came more into light, at least at the beginning of server starts, which is like buying stuff with no currency, or buying gear like the tin polished tin breastplate and stuff. That stuff is more useful, but that's all like relative to when the server starts. Like once the server is like flowing and all in gears flowing, I don't think that's gonna really matter. But you know, there's just I feel like longevity is what Intrepid should be striving for in all the systems that they have, making it so their systems have longevity at all points of the game. And I hope they take that into mind, especially with like the no currency shop. Like right now, the no currency shop doesn't really have any longevity for any of the items there. They're mostly useful for like at the beginning, but yeah, I don't know. Longevity. That's all I have to say. If any devs watch me, make sure that all of your systems and shops have some type of longevity and usefulness, um, or most of them, unless it's literally called like a beginner shop. Like you know, like you feel me? But no currency nodes are supposed to be like the bread and butter of this game. Make sure that shop is always useful, and I always say, then where's this Kubo shop? This Kubo coin shop? Because right now, it's not there and it makes these treasure maps feel useless. But let's keep it going. Let's keep it going. I know I'm talking about a lot of shit, and a lot of people are probably like, Falco, you're all over the fucking place. I get it. I get it. I get it. I'm all over the fucking place. This is the next one. This is the next one. If we get enough likes on this, I'll start putting freaking markers in the like I was on Rebirth Radio. I'll start putting markers on the podcast. But right now, we don't have enough people talking and stuff to feel like it's necessary. No one has complained yet that we don't have what's called timestamps. When people start complaining that we don't have timestamps, then I will start putting timestamps between each segment. But if you made it this far, make sure you guys type down below Apple Watch or some shit. Type down below Apple Watch. Alright? Apple Watch. Going on from that. Oh yeah, something pissed me off this week, guys. I'm not gonna lie. Something pissed me off, and maybe you guys know what this is. But there's a quest that you get close to Winstead where you talk to like this pile of rocks, and basically the pile of rocks gives you, if once you complete the quest by going to talk to someone, you get a shield, a level 10 shield, and then you get like a shield that if you right click it, it goes into your quest items. If you right click it, it gives you another quest, and then that quest will give you, if you can complete it, will give you an apprentice uncommon hunting bag, and it'll give you like some money and some glint and some XP, but it requires you to go to the specific area west of Winstead, and you have to put a shield into this slot, and then you're supposed to kill a mob for a key. That shit needs to be changed immediately. That quest is probably the most annoying quest ever. I've never seen people gatekeep a quest. I saw so many guilds literally flailing their hands at the air, sitting there for that quest line. That quest needs to be changed immediately. Immediately. I forgot. I think I have the name for it. Did I put the name down for it? I did not put the name down for it, but you know what quest it is. If you know, it's in Winstead. There's some rocks that you can talk to, a pile of rocks, like they're stacked high, and you can talk to them. It's east of Winstead, and it has a quest chain. And then that quest that gives you that bag also has a quest chain, but I don't know what that quest chain gives because I never was able to complete the quest. And also I had a problem where I deleted the quest because I was like, it doesn't show you exactly where you're supposed to go anymore once you get to that area and put the shield in. I deleted the quest and I couldn't start it again. So that's another thing that needs to be fixed. Why the hell? And then it deleted the item for me to be able to start the quest out of my like quest inventory. So I'm like, questing is just in the worst state ever. I mean, obviously it's always been a bad state, but it's in like a really shitty state. But I was so annoyed because there was just people gatekeeping, and they were just basically like, "You're never gonna get this key," and they just kept swinging. And I was like, and people were there for days, and I was like, it's not even worth it. It's not even worth it. I don't even want to try. I don't even want to try, guys. So make sure you fix that quest. I forgot the name of it, but if any devs want me to find the name of it, I will personally go on another character, go start the quest, and give you the quest chain name, because that was probably the most annoying thing ever. The only cool part of that quest chain was at least I was able to do the first part to get the shield, and I guess it's good for tanks because it's a level 10 shield for tanks, and it's a pretty decent one. I think it's uncommon if I'm not mistaken. So, and it gives a little, I think it gives a little XP if I'm not mistaken, but I think it just gives glint and a shield. But don't quote me. But yeah, I don't know, that quest line pissed me off. I'm like, don't ever put quests in the game where there's one mob that everyone has to fight over. It's like, questing is already annoying enough, and now you want us fighting over like mobs? Like, give me a break. Like, or at least make it so when people kill the mob, everyone has an equal chance, even if you didn't attack it or some shit. Because it's a quest. Like I know it's gonna be very difficult for you to put in quests that are for you to be able to like attack, or where it's like, oh, you have to kill a mob for a key. But like, come on, that mob spawned like once every like hour. It felt like I never even saw the mob spawn because I think people killed it too fast, because there was a billion people swinging at the air where the mob might spawn. Because I don't know where it spawned. But yeah, that was probably the most annoying thing. You guys will probably see that in a video that I post at some point in the future, because I mean it's gonna be on the main channel of me complaining about that very thing. So look forward to me complaining a second time about that. So yeah, that was gross. I was like, ugh. I was just trying to try quest out to see how they felt, and I just couldn't. So that was annoying. But going on from that, I would say this is a hot take. Maybe some of you guys may not enjoy this one. Maybe some of you guys might. By the way, I'm not sure why this shit's lagging so hard in the background. I'm annoyed for you guys. So we're gonna restart that. Let's restart that. Oopsie. Okay. All right. Okay. All right. Let me pull this down. Ooh, there you go. All right. It's not lagging this time. Woo. Okay. But going on from that, this is a hot take. Hot take: higher rarity deconstruction kits should give you back more of your resources from deconstruction instead of the typical 2 to 3. Like, if I'm deconstructing something with like a heroic deconstruction kit, I should 100% get more than like 2 to 3 fucking like rubies back. Like, especially for how difficult it is to get rubies right now. Like I said, there's a lot of shit that's going to be changed with economy and stuff, and maybe that's a change that's going to happen. But if it's not a change that's going to happen, I'm going to say it. Like I said, this could be all changed in a week, because there's a lot of economic updates that are coming into the game. But I might as well say this because it's not in the game right now. As of 5/19/2025, when I use that, there's no difference between me using a common and an uncommon kit on a common and an uncommon deconstruction kit on an item, except for me getting higher rarity of materials back. That's the only difference, if I'm not mistaken, is higher rarity materials. If I'm mistaken, please comment and let me know that you do get more materials depending on the higher rarity of the deconstruction kits used. But I'm assuming I feel like you don't. You only get higher rarity of materials back, but not the quantity. No one really cares about especially when you're deconstructing shit. I don't feel like people really care about the rarity. Maybe a little bit depending on what you're deconstructing. Like if it's steel, like maybe I might care, because I mean I'm getting higher grade steel from deconstructing steel shit. But if I'm deconstructing something to train, I would rather have, or there should be 2 types of deconstruction kits: kits that you're using to deconstruct for material, and kits you're using to deconstruct for what's called rarity. Like, you feel me? Like I feel like there's two very bespoke things that you would use deconstruction tools for, and that's for material quantity and material quality. Like, not it's yeah, you feel me? And maybe if you're lucky, you get one that does both. But yeah, that fucked me up. I was like, the reason why I brought that up is because I was using deconstructing kits to try and level my for my jewel crafting, and I was like, there's no way it's requiring me to use 15 rubies, 15 rubies to make a ruby necklace, and I only get 2 to 3 rubies back from deconstructing these necklaces. There's no freaking way. Something needs to be changed, because that shit feels unfulfilling, unsatisfying, everything in between. And I know deconstruction kits aren't like the most difficult thing to make, but I mean, make them useful, because right now they're very minimal. They're very minimal. I hope they look into that, because I wasn't a fan of that. But hey, maybe you guys are different. Comment down below how you guys feel about that. And then we're gonna go on to another hot take right here. This is another one. People who are either casual or slightly above casual just don't feel the impact of contributing to the node. People literally have to offer collateral right now, or were before we had the cookhouse, for people to contribute Sanctus bows, because For one, to make the cookhouse, you need like 140 Sanctus bows, and for one, you need Sanctus bow, Sanctus emblems, and you need the Sanctus bow recipe to do so. People are offering literally bronze short bows for Sanctus bows because it took like 4 or 5 days for people to do it, and I feel like it was mostly done probably by the mayor. But no, I didn't. I know I didn't contribute any Sanctus bows because I was like, what's the point of me doing that? There's no point for me. Like screw Sanctus bows. Like I don't get enough XP. I don't get enough adventuring XP for it, and I definitely don't get enough carbon. Honestly, maybe you should get carpentry XP for depending on what you contribute. There needs to be something because I didn't. I don't think people who are casual are definitely contributing anything like that because that requires a lot of money and resources to do so. But and like no one's selling Sanctus emblems. Also, the market's so shit that no one's selling Sanctus emblems for like a normal, like a good price, like a price that would actually make you feel like, oh, time well spent, head ass. You feel me? So I feel like people who are like very casual may not feel how powerful and how good it feels to be part of a node that's working together. Because the only thing they may be contributing is like the very basic materials, such as like logs, maybe fish if they're AFKing and fishing, but nothing that takes a lot of time out of their day. They're not contributing that, especially if it takes money out of their pocket, because money or glint or gold, whatever you want to call it, is so difficult to come by unless you have like very big groups, or if you are lucky and get drops, because drops sell for so much right now. But yeah, that's how I feel about that. Let me know what you guys think. Do you feel like people who are casual really feel how impactful and how good nodes are? Like, do they feel the impact? Maybe they feel the impact once everything's built, but they don't feel how good it feels, or they don't feel like it feels really very like good to contribute to a node, like when you're building shit. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Going on from that, dang, I have a lot of hot takes for this one, guys. I have a lot of hot takes, which is crazy. Hot take. I don't know what I was thinking with this one, but I'm gonna say it anyway. I don't know what I was fucking thinking, but this is another hot take. I wish all types of armor and weapons had a breakpoint where you had to deconstruct it and make it again, and some with recipes having a limited use to preserve recipe prices, lower the amount of materials needed to make the equipment. That I'm basically saying they would need to lower, you would need to lower the like materials needed to make the equipment, because right now making equipment is so freaking expensive to make. So, but I do wish that I heard through the grapevine that that's how repairing gear is supposed to be in the future. You're supposed to use materials, like materials that really matter to that weapon, to like actually preserve it and keep it from going to zero and having to make a new one. But I think this definitely needs to be in the game sooner than later, because this alone will make it so people don't want to go corrupt and don't want to fuck up and die and shit. Because the more you die, um, the more you already know what happens when you die. You lose so much durability when you die. So imagine you die like twice or 3 times, and now your freaking bow that you worked so hard to level up and gear up and ascend up and all that is half durability, and now you need some very expensive materials to repair it. You feel me? I don't know, something about it. I like it. Some people may not. I don't think that's it's not a very casual system, I would say, unless casuals are using bows that are not that good. But I also think that people may not use their best bows when they're ragging people. I feel like people always are going to find a way to rag people regardless. People may just have throwaway bows that they get from their guildies that they use, and they never use their best bow unless they're killing like a raid boss or something like that. But I feel like that's also a thing that people should look into. But yeah, let me know how you guys feel. Are you guys excited for anything like that, like using materials? Are you guys not? Are you guys feeling like that's going away from the game being casual focused, or not fun for people who are like casuals? I don't know. I don't know. I'm in the middle. Like, I obviously am like a sweaty, because obviously I make content for the game, but like I also enjoy having parts of the game where I can do stuff casually. So I think there's a balance. There's a balance that can be had, because casual people are what make up the population of people who watch the content, and follow the game and enjoy the game, you know? So there needs to be a place for casuals to feel like they're thriving, having fun, and enjoying the game, you know? Yeah, that there needs to be, or else the game doesn't flourish to its maximum potential. But at this point, I'm not sure, does Steven care if the game flourishes to its maximum potential? Or does he just want it to flourish to the potential of whatever game like he wants the game to be? Um, so yeah, let's go on from that. That's funny. I was talking with a tank. And he's one of my homies, and we were talking about ways to make the tank not feel as cumbersome when it dies, and make stuff like that. Make the tank just feel better overall, and not feel like the sting of defeat every time you freaking queue with a pug and you die a billion times. And then everyone leaves, and you're just stuck with XP debt and money loss because you just lost so much like shit on your gear. And we were talking about how tanks should have a passive ability that lowers their durability consumption when they die, and lowers their just how much they pay for their armor when they repair it. Nah, probably that could be abused. But like basically just make it so their gear has less durability consumption, considering the fact that their whole job is to get hit. You know, so if they die and shit, XP that should be maybe less, and also maybe they have less, durability. And I would already, ew, one more time. I wouldn't be opposed to that. I wouldn't be opposed to it at all. So definitely make that a thing, in my opinion. Going on from that. Oh, if you guys didn't notice, an update happened to the game. I know I'm all over the place, but an update happened to the game for the artisan, for all our artisans out there, that makes it so when you're what's called crafting, or when you're processing stuff, you now get adventuring XP depending on the rarity of it, quantity of it, and the, like, if it's journeyman, if it's apprentice, the type, like the not rarity, but the level of it, the level. So that's really good for our artisans, the people who choose to not really kill mobs, and the people who actually just can choose to be like crafters, artisans, and go through the artisanship process. I think that's very good, because we didn't have that, which, yeah. So hands off to all my artisans that really enjoy crafting and don't really care too much about killing shit. So now you'll be able to get experience. You might be higher level than most people killing shit at the beginning of, resets. So because you're doing all your crafting and processing and shit. So yeah, let that be known. Let that be known, guys. What else? I think maybe we end it here. I'm gonna end this here. I'm gonna save the rest for the next week, because I do have a lot more questions, or a lot more stuff that I want to talk about. But that was probably the biggest things I felt like we should talk about. I have a lot of questions. I have a lot. But I think that, this is already like 30 minutes long, and I want to know. Let me know, guys. Let me know how you guys feel about these podcasts. Do you guys want them? Like an hour long for someone talking to themselves is pretty long. Maybe when we do our like collaborations where we have people brought on to the podcast, we'll have longer podcasts, like maybe hour longs. But like if it's just me talking to you guys and just saying how I feel, maybe 30 minutes is good. I don't know. Let me know. Do you guys want longer ones? If you want longer ones, I'll have longer ones. But for now, I think 30 minutes is kind of, it's that. I think me personally, I think that's one of those things. Maybe that's just me, but like I said, I could talk for an hour, but that's all if you guys want longer podcasts. But like I said, comment down below questions that you guys think I should address. It could be for like questions about Intrepid, Ashes, it could be MMOs in general, it could be anything. Just comment down below and we'll shout you out, and we'll answer the questions. Obviously I have my own questions, but we will, we're a community, shout them out. As well as don't forget to follow me on social medias, Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, and don't forget to use my Ash of Creation content creator code, or my creator code down below in the description if you guys want to make a free account on Ash of Creation. If you do, it's free of charge to make an account, and it asks you use my code, as well as join the Discord. We do play Ashes in there every week, so come by, say hi, and vibe out. And what else am I looking for? Go to the main channel. Go to the main channel. Sorry, I have a lot of shit that I gotta shout out because no one else will. Do that. There's a lot of links down below. Go use them. Like the video. Let me know if you guys like these 30-minute podcasts. Let me know if you guys want shorter ones. But yeah. There's more to be had and more to be talked about. But I'm gonna save those questions for next week, just in case no big updates come out and I need more shit to talk about. So yeah. Sorry guys, I'm gatekeeping questions. But yeah, I'll see you guys. I'll see you guys next episode. If you enjoyed this, is episode 5 of the TalonCast. I'm your host Falco, and like I said, comment down below other content creators you guys think I should bring on the TalonCast so we could talk to them. I have a few in the pipeline, but you guys have to let me know who you want to see so I know what's up. Other than that, thank you for watching. I love you guys, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace out. Don't wanna say